Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. De La Hoya confirms interest in making Shakur Stevenson vs William Zepeda fight. Promoter Oscar De La Hoya confirmed today that he wanted to make the fight between William Zepeda and WBC lightweight champ Shakur Stevenson. He feels that a fight between Shakur and Zepeda is a huge one, and he says he is not going to stand in the way of making it happen. The perfect matchup. Zepeda is ranked number 1 by all 4 sanctioning bodies at 135 and is positioned to challenge for a world title any of the champions. Shakur's willingness to fight anybody makes him the ideal champion for Zepeda to fight. De La Hoya states that he views Shakur, 27, as the best fighter on the planet skill-wise, but he just wishes he could sell tickets. He says Stevenson lacks a fan-friendly style of fighting that's held him back from becoming a star because he should be already by now, given that he is captured world titles in 3 weight classes. De La Hoya doesn't say when he plans to make the fight between Shakur and Zepeda, but it will have to happen soon. Waiting until Shakur fights WBA regular lightweight champion Gervonta Davis might be too long. Gervonta is expected to win that fight, and if he captures his WBC title, he might not be in a hurry to face Zepeda. It's not that Gervonta is afraid of Zepeda. It's more of a case of Gervonta Davis having a lot of choices for lucrative fights, and Zepeda lacks popularity with casual boxing fans in the US. He still does not speak English and has a laid-back personality. That fight, I don't think nobody will get in the way of that fight, Oscar said. I am Zepeda's promoter and actually want to make that fight. De La Hoya doesn't sound like he is chomping at the bit to hurry up and make the fight with Shakur and Zepeda. It's unclear what he is waiting for because it's the perfect time to make the fight. It will happen. Ed Hearn is not in the way of making that fight. I think the only one that's in the way of making that fight is me, but I'll tell you one thing. I will make that fight, said De La Hoya about Shakur vs Zepeda. I think Shakur right now, skill-wise, is probably the best fighter on the planet today, but he has to be able to sell tickets. His boxing style is not that friendly to sell tickets, but I think that William Zepeda vs Shakur Stevenson is a huge fight, the sanctionary said. Fighter who sparred Gervonta, Shakur and Devin Haney names who is the best. Fans are willing Gervonta and Shakur to put their undefeated records and lightweight titles on the line in an All-American clash. The fighters are 2 of the most highly regarded in the sport of boxing for very different reasons. Gervonta Davis for his extreme power and ferocious finishes, Shakur for his calculated scoring and elusive moment. Speaking to Fight Hype, Robert Mayweather III used his knowledge of sparring Davis, Stevenson and Devin Haney to back the big puncher from Baltimore in either matchup. In my opinion, I got Gervonta, but I do feel like it's a tough fight between all of them. They have really good skills, IQs, and they have what they're doing. With Gervonta, he has the experience on them, and he has that pull-up. We don't know if Shakur or Devin have the pop to keep tank off of them. He goes in there and he is just looking to fight. He takes a shot and he gives it right back. We've got to see if Shakur is gonna be able to build that muscle up and that power up. For right now, he is not gonna be able to. Whilst Haney holds the WBC belt up at super lightweight, Davis and Stevenson are still competing at 35 and are the most likely of the trio to face off. Danny Garcia predicts Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson. Nobody at the weight beats him. A Gervonta Davis vs Shakur Stevenson fight continues to elude fans. The matchup pits 2 contrasting styles against one another, with Gervonta's raw power and calculated punishment facing its toughest test against the slick movement and the early defense of Stevenson. Only 2 men have made it that distance with Davis, his other 28 fights ending by knockout. More often than not quite sensationally. On the other end of the scale, Shakur has just a 35% stoppage ratio, but it's notoriously hard to land on. Now both world champions at lightweight. The fight looked to be on the table when Davis' negotiations collapsed. However, it looks set to marinate for a while longer, with both men recently confirming that a report stating there were talks for a November bout are those. It will, fans hope, happen one day, and predictions continue to roll in. Speaking to Fight Hub, two-way world champion Danny Garcia backed Gervonta Davis should the fight ever materialize. That's a great fight. I like Gervonta. I think Gervonta is too strong at the weight for anybody, but skill for skill, I think it's a great fight. An All-American, undefeated unification clash not being made with urgency is what many see wrong with the sport, but there is always hope for 2025. In the meantime, Stevenson may be considering facing #1 challenger William Zepeda towards the end of the year. Tank's potential rematch with Isaac Cruz now lost its appeal, given the latter recently lost his super lightweight world title to Jose Valenzuela. Trainer tells new champion to fight Gervonta Davis next. There could be a title fight down the line. Boxing trainer Bob Santos has tipped Jose Valenzuela to take on Gervonta Davis. Valenzuela pulled it off a surprise when he beat Isaac Cruz over the weekend, taking the WBA super lightweight title in the process. There are question marks over a rematch class, with Cruz immediately asking for the chance to run it back. Speaking to social media, Santos acknowledged the importance of contractual obligations, but thought the new champion might do well to line up Davis, who had been in the running for another fight with his former opponent Cruz. If there is a rematch clause, then Valenzuela is obviously going to have to fight him, he said. I don't know if there is a rematch clause in the contract. If there is, then he has no choice but to fight Pitbull. Now, if Valenzuela has no rematch clause, then I think the next logical challenge for him is to try to take on Gervonta Davis. He continued, "Styles make fights, and if you have the opportunity to fight Gervonta Davis, one of the biggest names in boxing, to me you better take it because it may never come again. You know what I mean, because look at what we are trying to do here. You are now protecting the undefeated record. You've already lost twice, and there is no guarantee that he is going out there and will beat the next guy who might be the third-ranked guy in the world, or the fourth great guy in the world," he said. Eddie Hearn is certain who Gervonta Davis' next opponent will be, and it could be the fight of the year. Yeah, I think if the deal's not right and he is not really up for it, the kind of guy that will just go and leave it. So he is decided to leave it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.